Alright guys, so I want to show you something different today with InVision Studio. When I did my live stream on Saturday, you may have noticed that there was an option, and I think I pointed it out, to import a sketch file. So let's look at how easy that may or may not be to do. So I went and downloaded the UI Curve Henry Latham free resource from the Sketch App Resources website. I downloaded that, I opened it up. As you can see right here, we have 3 pages. One is of the screens, so we have some screens here. There's a UI kit with all of our components and navigation, things of that nature. And then we have our symbols here. These are all the things we're going to have inside this kit. So the whole point of this video today is to see how well does all this translate when we move it to InVision Studio. So let's check that out. So I'm going to go down here, click on InVision Studio. So that's cool. This is the document I was working on Saturday with the live stream. And here is our new document. And as you can see right here, Open Studio and Sketch Files. And I've never opened this document in InVision Studio. So it automatically knew I had a sketch file that was open in Sketch, and it automatically added it here. I have not opened it yet. I have no idea what's going to happen. So let's double click that. Make it full screen here. It's taking a little bit to load. I'm going to change the theme to light so it's easier to see what's going on. Alright, it's still opening document, still opening document. Okay, sometime today. Wow, it is still going. So, not feeling too great about that, but this is good to know. Hopefully when it finally comes in, it's fully ready to go. Maybe it just takes a minute to parse through all the different vectors that are in here. Oh, okay. Issues importing your sketch file. Things like symbols, nested symbols, and certain appearance properties that aren't supported in Studio don't always look the same after being imported. Let's click on more details. At this time, blurs are not supported in Studio. At this time, Studio does not support the conversion of resizing constraints from Sketch. It also says couldn't find font Roboto light. That's my bad. I can fix that. And the system defaulting to system font. That's fine. Pattern fields aren't supported yet. Couldn't find font Roboto regular in the system defaulting to system font. Okay, so except for the fact that I don't have my Google fonts in this document, patterns, resizing constraints. So I'm guessing that's resizing constraints. I'm guessing that's the sizing of images. I'm not sure. And then blurs are not supported so far. So blurs, resizing the constraints. I'm guessing that's resizing of images. And pattern fields are not supported when you're porting your items over. Let's just give this a look anyway. So let's see, what do we get here? All right. So one thing that's interesting, we still have our big bold titles. Okay, hold on. Nice. So in the import, we did keep our pages. Symbols, UI kit, screens. These items are still here. And if we flip back over to Sketch, you can see right here, UI kit, UI kit. So I mean, pretty good so far. We're going to zoom in just a second, just to see what happens. Screens. Let's go over to, well, this is Sketch. So this is Sketch and screens. That's what they look like. And then this is what they look like in InVision Studio. Okay. Not too bad from just zoomed out here. Let's go back to symbols real quick. Right now we're looking at sketches, symbols, the sketch version of symbols here. And symbols are either loading or maybe they failed. Let's see what happens. So we'll wait, and then this time around we will zoom in. Okay. Now we're up and running. Yep, we know what the issues are. That's fine. Patterns, fields, and resizing. Okay, so let's go back to here. These are symbols. It's the first page we were on. Wow. So none of that came through. None of that came through. So if you were to pull in a sketch file into InVision Studio, if you're using a lot of blurs and patterns, this is what you'll be dealing with: a bunch of gray boxes, and you'll now have to go back through and add those items. I'm going to pull it back up in Sketch again so you can see exactly what we're missing here. So yeah, content headers and things like that, they were great boxes. But if we do a quick comparison, the bigger boxes here should have the patterns and the blurs, and that is a no-go. So with everything else, you'd be okay. But you're talking about being able to redo these items. The one thing we don't know is if it brought over symbols or anything like that. We definitely have a lot of the layers here. All the layers are here. You'll probably just have to go through these and reorganize them. But if you're making that switch from Sketch to InVision Studio, I mean, I guess you probably already know that that's something you have to deal with. But I think that's very, very important to ask InVision to make sure that you can have a really good one-to-one conversion of a Sketch file to an Adobe Studio file. I mean, InVision Studio file, excuse me. And also too, layers and layer positioning and layer labels, making sure that those things can also transfer over, because if you spend a lot of time like I do organizing your files, then this is a big deal. You don't want everything coming in as just a big massive set of layers. You have groupings and things like that for a reason, and because the layers are like this, I'm thinking that maybe it doesn't port over actual symbols. So in the next video, I'll make sure I test that out, creating a symbol in Sketch, porting it over, and see if it stays a symbol, something that you can continue to edit, because that's very, very important to have items you've already created that are going to be very, very usable, and those items port over and still being something that's reusable. If they're not going to be reusable, then we definitely want them to be we still want them to be grouped. At least that way you can just right click or go ahead and convert them back into being a symbol. The only issue with that is then you have to go and copy and paste that item in all the different pages to make sure that it's properly represented. So that's it. Just wanted to show you guys how to import a file into InVision Studio. This is early access, so a lot of this can be fixed. Do not freak out. I'm not going to freak out. But one of the things we could do is send them and tell them about these videos and let them know that these are some things that probably need to be changed and looked at before it's released. That's one of the good things about being an early adopter and seeing some of these things before they launched. You can really impact their overall design decisions, and hopefully they listen to us. And I think Clark and the guys over there are pretty in tune to us, so this should be good. Thanks a lot, guys, for watching this video, and I'll catch you in the next episode of the UX Design Show. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more content. Talk to you next time. Peace.